Hey everyone, so this is a tag video, and as far as I know I haven't been tagged specifically by anybody, but I was requested to do this and it is the Australian tag. So I tag anybody who watches this. I'll pop all the questions down below, so if you do want to do it, just cut and paste and even leave it as a video response. So the questions are all about Australia, and let's get started. Hope you guys enjoy. So, question 1 is, what state do you live in? And I live in New South Wales, which is on the eastern side of Australia. What states have you visited around Australia? Now, growing up as a kid, I moved around a lot. And I lived in New South Wales, Queensland and Victoria. But for visiting, like holidays, things like that, I've gone to South Australia, ACT, which is Australian Capital Territory, and to Tasmania. I haven't been to Northern Territory or Western Australia, but everywhere else I have at least visited. Next is, what do you order at Boost Juice? I don't really go to Boost Juice that much anymore. But when I did, I used to order, I think it was called an energy lift. But other than that, maybe something berry or something mango normally. Choose one. Supre, Valleygirl or Cotton On. I don't really go to Supre anymore. I don't really go to Valleygirl that much either. Probably Cotton On, just for like essentials and basics, things like that. I kind of like Cotton On. Sportsgirl or Dotti? Neither. I don't really shop at either of them, but if I had to pick, I'd probably go more towards Sportsgirl. Who's your favourite Australian actor or actress? I'm not sure. I mean, I don't really have a favourite actress or actor anyway, but I don't mind, I think his name's Chris Hemsworth, Thor. But yeah, I don't really have a favourite, but I'll pick him because he's in some movies recently and I think he acts well, so there you go. And he just seems like a really nice guy. Describe your formal night in high school. We had two, one in year 10 and one in year 12. Year 10 was pretty good. Year 12 was the coldest November day in, I think it was 20 years. It was raining, it was blowing a gale, it was so windy, and we were on the harbour. Not on the harbour, but next to the harbour. So it was terrible. It was horrible, but, you know, whatever. No big deal. Do you like Vegemite and how do you eat it? I love Vegemite. Absolutely love it. On toast, on sandwiches, hot, cold, cheesy mite scrolls, so they're kind of like ham and cheese kind of buns, but instead of ham and cheese it's cheese and Vegemite. Oh, they're so good. But yeah, normally on toast. And to give you an indication of how thick I have it, people ask me, are you eating Nutella or Vegemite? So I do like quite a good spread of Vegemite. Yum, I love it. Next is, have you seen or petted a kangaroo? I have seen kangaroos before and I have been able to give them a pat, but if you see a kangaroo in the wild, unless it's in like a picnic area where they have kangaroos that are used to people, don't go up to them because they are not the friendliest of animals and they will kick you in the gut so hard it's probably going to cause a lot of damage. They are really, really strong animals, so yeah, and boxing kangaroos. But yeah, no, don't approach them in the wild. If you ever do at the zoo, different story, pat it, that's fine. But yeah, I have touched a kangaroo before and I have seen them. Oh look, there goes one now. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, they're not everywhere, but you do see them, particularly out if you live in rural areas. You can get like wallabies, small kangaroos, and kangaroos. Have you ever seen the Sydney Harbour Bridge? Yes, all the time. From where I work you can see the Harbour Bridge. Pretty much any time you go to the city you can see the bridge. Yeah, I've seen the Harbour Bridge. It's a pretty bridge, but I actually prefer Anzac Bridge. controversial. I don't know, I think that bridge is kind of cool too. But yeah, the bridge climb is interesting, you get a good view. Okay, at the tail end of the tag now. Do you say mate? Yes. But it kind of just slips out. I don't consciously say it, it just kind of happens. G'day? Not really. To be honest, I don't really say g'day much at all unless I'm making fun of typical stereotype Australian slang. But yeah, sometimes I say g'day, but very rarely. Flip-flops or wedges? Wedges. And it's so un-Australian of me. Well, flip-flops first of all. Flip-flops? They're thongs, people. Thongs. So thongs or wedges? Wedges, still. Because when I wear thongs, and again it's really un-Aussie of me, but to not wear thongs, they irritate between my toes. It like rubs and it's horrible, but yeah, I need to find a good comfortable pair of thongs. Until then, probably wedges. Jumper or sweater? We don't really have sweaters here. It sounds a bit preppy, doesn't it? But sloppy joes, which is kind of like a jumper. You just pull it over your head. So I'm going to go with jumper. Overall, what do you think of Australia? I think it's grouse. No, I like Australia. I do. I like the fact that no matter where you live, in most cases at least anyway, you can drive to the beach, you can drive, even though it could be a few hours away, but you can drive to the beach, you can drive to a forest, you can drive to a bush, you can even in some cases drive to a desert, depending on where you are. Within a couple of hours you could be in the country, within a couple of hours you could be in a city, unless you're like in the middle of the desert, then you're kind of in the desert and that's pretty much it. But yeah, I like the diversity, I like the culture that we have. Yeah, I think it's a really laid-back nation. We kind of make fun of ourselves a lot and don't take things too seriously, which I like. The weather is pretty good. In summer though, for me personally, it's a bit hot, but most people don't care about that. It's just me because I enjoy winter more than summer. I actually like spring the best. But yeah, no, overall, I think it's pretty good. I can't really complain. Yeah, I like Australia. If you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And again, if you wanted to do this tag, all the questions are going to be down below as well. And you can leave it as a video response. I hope you guys found this interesting, and I will see you next time. Bye!